All right, quick and dirty video and no editing. Okay, I was asked a couple questions about soldering and my technique. And I was talking to somebody through chat about it. And I just wanted to make a short video to kind of make it better for that fellow and anyone else who cares. All right, now I'm going to use best practices in some ways, but I'm also going to point out where I do things totally different than some people and why. Okay, so first off, the quality of your soldering station matters. This is a T3A from Aixun. I think that's how you say it. A-I-X or A-I-H-U-N, Ahun, I guess. Anyways, it's a T3A. This is a copy of a JBC, a US JBC soldering station. It would be like $1,000, $800 to $1,000. This is $150 on AliExpress, sometimes on Amazon. Get it with the this base right here, because then what happens is when you pull it out, you see it heats instantly, and when you put it back in, it sleeps. So that is the one you want. It is awesome. It's got the T245 cartridges, and you can get all kinds of different tips here. Now, let me turn this off for a second. Okay, I want to point out a couple tips about soldering stations. So get a good soldering station. Secondly, the tip I use 90% of the time is a 2.2 millimeter round bevel tip. You can't really see on screen what's going on here, but this is the tip, and what it is, and the reason why it looks like it does, like all crappy, is because there's solder loaded on it right now. And that's my other tip, is never store the iron without solder on it, because then the tip oxidizes. So just always store it with solder on it, let it harden, and then when you go to use it, and I'm going to use it in a second here, you'll see that I'm going to clean it up just before I use it. The bevel tip, it's basically just, there's a circle at an angle. Just look up 2.2 round bevel. And the reason why I like that is because I do something differently than most people do, and I'll explain why in a second. But let's talk about conventional soldering, and I'll tell you why that tip, okay? So conventional soldering is use flux. You got to use flux. You put it on all the parts you intend to weld together with solder. And then, well, solder together, they're not really welding. But then you're going to typically heat the parts first with a soldering iron, and then you're going to feed in solder to weld, to bond these two together. I find that doesn't work great with flashlights because you're typically soldering like a driver. You're soldering, maybe this button or something on this driver. And when you apply a bunch of heat and get it hot, first off, it's all heat sinked because it's in a pill and it's in, maybe the housing, maybe you didn't remove it. So you're putting all this heat in there and the solder won't melt. And so what happens is you overheat it and then you break the components. So what I do, especially if I'm soldering MCPCBs, if I'm doing something like this, where I'm soldering these two little blobs, what I do is I load the bevel tip with a blob of solder. I put flux where I want to go, flux on the wires themselves. I use tweezers, press the wire to where I want it to be. Then I bring that loaded tip over and bloop, and I'll keep it there for a second or two to make sure it flows and bonds really well. But you get these perfect solder blobs that hold it on the MCPCB, no problem. That's the way I do it. I know that's not the conventional way, but I'm telling you, I've done this for many years and it works the best. And so because I'm doing it that way, I do not use this really thin stuff. This is the stuff, I have it around in case I need to feed solder in on a fine, I'm doing it conventionally, like heating the part, heating the wire, and feeding it in. If I need to feed it in, I will use this, okay? And this is, it's around 60-40. It's a little not 60-40. It's 63-37. But notice that its size is 020. It's really small stuff. Now, what I like to use is this stuff. This stuff, what I use for almost everything, okay? So if you look at it, it's 0.062 inches, 0.062. This is the one I like. It's chunky, it's kind of thick. I pull a section of it off, okay, and I just clip it with snips, and usually it's a little longer than this, and I put a little loop in it so that I can hold it, okay? Then I come over here to my paste, and I use paste mostly. I do have, you know, the liquid, and I use this for flowing, but when I'm soldering, I use this. And what I do is I drag in here, get some of it on here, okay? Then I come over to what I'm soldering, and then I, you know, apply. Hang on, do I have my part the right way? Yeah, I do, okay. I'm just about to solder this, so I want to make sure I had it the right direction. All right, so I apply some on here like this, and then I go to the wire, and I do the same thing, okay? Now this wire was recently stripped, so it's just bare wire. So I'm going to pre-tin this. This is already tinned. There's already solder. When I say tinned, I mean like a solder blob. I don't mean tin. There is tip tinner. That's a whole different thing. I'll get into that in a second. But you know, I won't go bare wire in there like that. Okay, I won't do that. Let me turn this back on. Okay, where's the switch? Okay, so let me just hang off this for a second. Okay, let me show you prep over here. So, soldering station, pull it out. Temperature, you can see that it says 350. It overshot, but it's gonna come down. 350 is what I solder at. So it's instantly to temperature, well, not instantly, but like 5 seconds. I got some stuff on the tip here, okay? And what I'm gonna do is you just come in here and you push and do this on the brass, and now you got it cleaned up. And you can see there, it's a little blurry, but you can see there's that 2.2 millimeter bevel tip, okay? And the tip looks like it's in good shape, okay? You might even just, if you want to clean up a little more, just kind of dip it in here a little bit, and then do this a little more, okay? And it looks super shiny. Sorry, the focus ain't great, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about here, okay? Let me see if I can do this. There we go, that's a little better. Okay, it's a little not focused, but you get the idea. So that's the tip. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, sorry it's blurry, but I'm going to feed in a little solder here. Okay, just I'm doing this so far away from my face, I can barely see. Okay, so now let's see what we got here. There you go. That's actually too much, okay, because I wasn't really looking at it. But see how it holds it in a spot? Okay, so it holds it, and that's where I can just like load it in. All right, so now let me put this back in the holder. Okay, so it's not heating. All right, so that's that. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do the actual soldering job. Let me see if I can do this on camera. It's always so hard in camera. I'm going to try and use what I just loaded. Now, notice that this wasn't tinned yet, so I'll tin this. Okay. Okay, it's nice and tinned. There we go. And I still have a lot on the tip. The tip still has a ton. So now I'm going to come over here. Let me get a better angle at this, because it's going to flow, you know. All right, here we go. So I'm going to do this. Okay, now notice it just came right off. I kind of let that happen on purpose. The reason it came off is it was a cold solder joint. So what I have to do, and I want to point this out, is you push and hold until everything gets super hot and flows. Then you leave it there for a while until it all solidifies. Hang on, I'm having issues with this. I have actually had too much solder on here. That's fine. Let me get rid of some. I said that in the beginning that I loaded it too much, and now I'm rushing for the sake of the video. But let me get this in here. Okay. There you go. I'm also using flexible wire here. Oh, come on. It's like super, super hot. There we go. I think I just got it. You can see, I know that was all hard to see because it was off camera, but what I was concerned about melting the components inside, and I used way too much. I was just, messing around on camera, but this is not a complicated, hard part to do. And it was all molten, and then I had to press it, and this was a flexible wire, and I wasn't using tweezers, and I wasn't using helping hands, and I used way too much, and then I waited for it to change color, and now you really want to pull on it. You want to make sure that it's not going to come loose, and it's not. So hopefully I did this enough for this crappy part, just because this is something I use a lot when I'm testing. I think it's going to go, yeah, it's fine. Okay, so we got this. Just got to weasel that in there. There we go. Cool. So my little micro grabber is working again. Okay, so hopefully along the way there you learned some tips, even if my execution and demonstration wasn't very good. And now, storing it, okay? So what I like to do is I like to get all the solder off, okay? Clean it, make sure the tip looks really good, okay? Then just come in and literally coat the entire shiny surface in solder like that. And then put it back in the holder carefully so it doesn't drip, and then turn the iron off. And it will solidify and keep the tip from oxidizing. And if you do that, you don't ever really have to use tip tinner. I said I'd get back to it, and I am. I have used tip tinner, but here's the thing about this. This jar of tip tinner I've had since I was like 15 years old. I'm now 51, okay? I just don't go through it, and I don't do it very often. And the reason why is because two things. One, if you take care of your tip, you just don't need to re-tin it. You just don't, okay? So doing what I said about storing it loaded is half the battle. Now, secondly, back in the day, you used to use one tip forever, and you used to, maybe sand it and to get the oxidation off and all this crap. Well, as I said, there won't be any oxidation if you do what I said. But here's the other thing. These T245 tips are not just a tip, they're also a heater element. And so these heater elements, these are the quick, heat elements, they will go bad after a while. So I'm currently on this exact cartridge for almost 2 years, but I've had some only last 2 months. So I usually have 3, in storage, just in case, I need to do a bunch of soldering and something goes wrong. But I just want to point out that, if these last on average a year, depending on your soldering load, you can see that you're just not going to need to tin because you're not going to oxidize or screw up the tip fast enough, and the heater cartridge is going to die first. And so you're just going to get a new tip. They're like $8 on AliExpress. So yeah, no, there you go. So that's in a nutshell. So I use the fatter spool. I use this constantly. I use paste. I like it not moving around. And my technique that I've never really seen anyone else do is this idea of taking this and using it like an application device, dipping it in there, putting it where you want to go. So, all right, there you go. Unedited. I hope it was helpful. Sorry, I didn't have the best demonstration, but you get the idea. All right, thank you, and peace.